The key to the rest of this season on defense is to continue to disguise the coverages like the Bills did against Russell Wilson. This is a 3rd and 5 situation, and the Seahawks send out a trip set to the bottom of the screen, and they're going to motion one of the receivers into the boundary. So Trey White's going to follow him. So right now, Russell Wilson is IDing this as man coverage. Now he needs to figure out whether this is a 2-high set or single high set. Prior to the snap, the Bills are showing a 2-high set, but then you see Micah Hyde start to really mess with Russell Wilson on this play. He kind of drops down, and then as the play unfolds, he is going to drop over the top and make it look like the Bills are going to be in a cover 2 man shell. The Seahawks have a really good matchup in the slot. DK Metcalf is matched up versus Siran Neal. Neal is a very good player, but he is not the type of guy you want matched up versus Metcalf. So as the ball is about to be snapped, you see Micah Hyde continue to play games with Russell Wilson. He drops to what looks to be the deep half of the field. His hips are turned to the boundary. His hips are turned to the receivers. So it looks as though he's going to be playing over the top. On the snap, Russell Wilson takes a peek to the left, sees the technique and leverage that Micah Hyde is playing with, and decides to move on. He believes that Siran Neal and Levi Wallace have help over the top by Micah Hyde, so he immediately moves on to the receivers to the top of the screen. But as the play progresses, you're going to see Micah Hyde flip his hips and then run to center field, become the single high safety in this cover 1 robber coverage. So now Russell Wilson, the only person that he can really throw it to is that quick out to the top of the screen to David Moore, and that has Tre'Davious White squatting on that route right at the sticks, and the play goes incomplete. And you can tell that DK Metcalf was not happy. He saw that he eventually got single coverage versus Siran Neal to the bottom of the screen. He was upset that Russell Wilson wasn't able to find him on this play. Just look at it from Russell Wilson's perspective. Look at Jordan Poyer to the top of the screen. Here comes Micah Hyde into the frame. And again, they just keep toying with Russell Wilson on this play. Russell knows that it's man coverage. He just doesn't know whether it's cover 2 or cover 1. They end up dropping into cover 1 robber. That means Poyer's robbing anything over the middle. Russell Wilson has to make a quick decision because this is a tight window throw, and it has to be pinpoint with Trey White out there, and he's not able to complete this tight window pass to the receiver. 4th and 1 situation early on in the game. This was a very big interception in the red zone by Jordan Poyer. The Seahawks are running a 3-level passing concept off of play action, so they're really giving Russell Wilson a half-field read, but also the ability to either throw it or run it in for the touchdown. On the snap, the Bills play zone coverage, and you're going to see Jerry Hughes do a great job of containing Wilson and pressuring him into this forced error. Poyer immediately takes away the first option, the running back in the flats. Micah Hyde, again, the safeties were so good in this game. Micah Hyde does a great job of slicing this route. So the slice by Micah Hyde takes away one of Russell Wilson's options on that crossing route. Trey White takes away the corner out by the tight end. And the Bills have everyone plastered, and they have at least a couple guys pressuring Russell Wilson at the point of attack, forcing him to make a decision soon. Russ does a great job of extending the play, but everyone is covered. And this is when you see Jordan Poyer peel off of his guy at the goal line and intercept the ball in the back of the end zone. Watch it from the end zone angle. Watch Micah Hyde in the middle of the screen and watch Jordan Poyer take away that first option by Russell Wilson. So on the snap, you see the rollout here after the speed fake. Jerry Hughes does a great job of containing Russell Wilson, making him bubble the rollout play here. And the first option is a running back in the flats. That's obviously taken away by Poyer because he stayed home. He stayed in his zone. Trey White has the number 2 option, which is a tight end to the corner. And then again, watch Micah Hyde on the backside slice here. He takes away DK Metcalf. And now Russell Wilson has nowhere to go. So he extends the play. And there's just no way he can even run it here because the Bills have several guys in pursuit. So he is forced to make a throw that he doesn't want to on 4th and 1. He ends up trying to find the tight end in the back of the end zone. But as you can see, Poyer has his eyes on Wilson the entire time. That running back has really nowhere to go. So all Poyer has to do is remain calm, keep his hands on his guy. And then when Russell Wilson attempts to throw it to the back of the end zone, this is when he peels off and makes the interception. Just a great play by both safeties of covering down initially and then doing a great job in the scramble drill, sticking with their guys and keeping their eyes on the quarterback as he makes a forced error. 1st and 10 situation near the top of the second quarter, and the Bills safeties and secondary do another great job of disguising this. So Look at the width of the safeties. They're very wide, showing almost like the width of a too-high zone look. But the depth is a little different. Poyer is a little deeper than Micah Hyde is. Again, muddying up the reads prior to the snap. Post-snap, the Bills are sending a creeper pressure. So it's still a 4-man rush, but they're sending A.J. Klein on a blitz, and they're dropping Trent Murphy out in the coverage. So it's still a 4-man rush. It's still 7 in coverage, and it's a great call on this play by Leslie Frazier because he drops out into cover 3, but it's not your traditional cover 3 with both the corners playing deep thirds and with a single high safety. They make Trey White the cloud corner, so he's a squatting flats defender to the top of the screen, and the third defender over the top of him is Jordan Poyer as the Bills spin and rotate to cover 3. The hook to curl defender now becomes Trent Murphy in the middle of the field. And this is still a cover 3 look, and it's different spacing based on where the Bills are dropping their defenders. And you can see why that's important because the Seahawks have a very good cover 3 concept called right here. You see a curl by the tight end and then an over route by Tyler Lockett. But because of the way the defense spun, Tremaine Edmonds is over the top of both of those routes, and so are the safeties. So the spacing of this coverage versus that concept run by the Seahawks is perfect. Adding a little pressure and getting Russell Wilson off the spot, he ends up pulling the ball down and just rushing for 4 yards. Here it is from the end zone angle. Again, pay attention to the safeties and how Russell Wilson is tracking them and the pressure and how it forces Russell Wilson off the spot. So A.J. Klein's blitzing, and he ends up being matched up one-on-one with the running back, and that power he comes with, that bull rush, forces Russell Wilson off the spot, and he has nowhere to go right off the bat here. But he's doing a good job keeping his eyes down the field. He just doesn't want to throw it as he escapes the pocket here because he sees both of those safeties able to converge on the over route by Tyler Lockett. Tremaine Edmonds is in a good position with the tight end who is now breaking to the boundary. And then Trey White, the squatting corner, is down low to help make the tackle on Russell Wilson. So again, another great job by Leslie Frazier on his creeper pressures this week. He called this one into the boundary. That creeper linebacker is coming from the boundary, gets Russell Wilson off the spot. On the back end, they spin into a cover 3 look, but not your traditional cover 3, more of a cover 3 cloud look with Trey White as a squatting corner, and he's the one that makes a tackle on Russell Wilson. This was one of my favorite defensive plays from the game. It's just a simple check down by Russell Wilson. Again, watch the safeties, because the safeties are the reason that Russell Wilson is not able to throw it to DK Metcalf. So again, they are playing more of a split field look here. They're a little shallow for their depth normally. But then you see them, again, toying with Russell Wilson. Are they in too high? Are they in single high? You see Hyde dropping down to the field here, dropping down closer to the box. You see Poyer kind of gain some depth right there prior to the snap. You see them just toying with Russell Wilson, muddying up those pre to post snap reads. Then as the ball is snapped, both of the safeties drop out. You're going to see Hyde immediately get deep with his eyes on Russell Wilson. And that's important because, as I said, to the bottom of the screen, the Hawks have a really good matchup of Metcalf versus Wallace, and this is an alert call. Generally, if you see a single high safety look and you like the matchup, Russell Wilson is going to make this throw to DK Metcalf on a go route. It's an alert call. It's generally considered the first read or, peek at this guy. Hey, if he has leverage, if he has a good matchup, you throw the deep ball, you throw the 9 ball to him. But because post-snap, the Bills rotate into more of a too-high look, Russell Wilson is not able to throw it to DK Metcalf because Hyde rolls over the top of the coverage. You see him take a quick peek at DK Metcalf, then peek at Micah Hyde to see if Wallace has help over the top, which he does, and that's why he has to move on in his progression. So he immediately finds the check down, and they have a short gain. That's a win for the Bills on 2nd and 6. That forces 3rd down and forces the Seahawks to extend their drive. Look at it from the end zone angle. Again, Poyer is the only one in the frame, but you can see the shadow of Micah Hyde to the left side of the screen. They're just messing with Russell Wilson here. So on the snap, you see Russell check to see if Wallace has help over the top. He does because Micah Hyde rolls to the deep half of the field. So now Russell Wilson is trying to quickly move through his progression because he understands, as this was a 3-by-1 set with DK Metcalf being the solo receiver to the left side of the screen, that because he's not throwing the alert, he has to quickly move through his progressions because the coverage, they're going to plaster and they're going to cover down. And you can see him take a quick peek over the middle to Tyler Lockett. He's covered by A.J. Klein. So now he knows, I'm not going to make it all the way back across the field just based on the timing of this play. I'm just going to find my check down, And that check down is covered by Tremaine Edmonds, and the Bills force a third down. On the very next play, the Seahawks send out a 3-by-1 set, and they get a penalty called on Tre'Davious White on DK Metcalf to the top screen. So the Bills are sending another creeper pressure. So Marlowe, the big nickel, to the bottom of the screen from the field side. He is showing like he's blitzing, but it's actually the linebacker, A.J. Klein, to the top, who is blitzing the quarterback. And they drop out Jerry Hughes on this play. So it's another creeper pressure by the Bills. And I just like what the safeties did on this play, because initially they take away the options for Russell Wilson. So on the snap, again, the Bills send that creeper pressure, and they roll into what appears to be a cover 3 look. So Jerry Hughes, instead of Trent Murphy, is that hook to curled player, and that's where Russell Wilson wants to go with the ball here on a little stick route, just past the sticks. But Jerry Hughes has good spacing as he drops out, and he's underneath that route, and it's going to be a tight window throw. So Russell Wilson bypasses that. But look at Micah Hyde to the top of the screen. He does a good job of getting downhill, becoming that flats defender, but more importantly, helping inside with Tre'Davious White on DK Metcalf. So as Russell Wilson moves on his progression and he looks to that side, that's taken away. At this point, Russell Wilson his internal clock is winding down because he feels a little of that pressure, but it's really not a blitz. It felt like a blitz initially, but it's really not a blitz. It's only a 4-man rush. So he regains his composure, stands tall, back in the pocket, and he's got a really good pocket. And this is when DK Metcalf is able to get downfield, get Tre'Davious one-on-one, and he draws the penalty on Tre'Davious White as he tries to jump back for the ball. 3:10 on the clock near the end of the first half, and just another great disguise prior to the snap by the Bills. They're showing more of a quarters coverage, but they roll out into something different post-snap as the Seahawks try to take a shot down the field. So they're running a curl by DK Metcalf and then a deep over route by Tyler Lockett. And while the Bills showed quarters coverage pre-snap, post-snap, they gained depth, and Micah Hyde becomes almost like a robber. So, again, though, if you're Russell Wilson, you're executing that play fake, and then you're looking down the field, you really don't know what coverage the Bills are in, just based on looking at the safeties there. So the corners, Levi Wallace and Trey White, do a great job of spacing the two routes, staying over the top, playing with zone eyes, letting it develop. And again, you have Hyde as a robber. Jordan Poyer's getting to the deep center field. And the Bills are in good position. They're spacing these routes down the field really well. You see the corners maintain the depth and leverage of Lockett, the deep route. Poyer's over the top. Now Hyde is breaking on the curl route by Metcalf. And Russell Wilson's under duress here. You even have the linebacker, A.J. Klein, cognizant of the running back leaking out of the backfield. So the Bills are in great shape here. They have all the routes covered. And Russell Wilson tries extending the play, and he's not able to. He has to throw it away. So this is a great job, pre to post snap, of the secondary of rotating into a great coverage to take away this deep shot. They did an awesome job for the most part on the day of minimizing those deep plays, minimizing the plays where Russell Wilson extends the play and hits his receivers down the field. This is just a muddied read for Russell Wilson as soon as he turns his head to look downfield for that deep shot. The safeties give him nothing. The corners give him nothing. And he's forced to throw the ball away to move on to the next down. Look at it from the end zone angle. Again, they're executing that play fake. Look at Hyde as the robber here. He's just waiting for either of these receivers to sit. There's going to be a low, there's going to be a high option. This is a high-low read for Russell Wilson. But because of the muddied read that the safeties Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde give him, he really has no idea where to go. And the Bills just have leverage. They have good spacing. They have good leverage numbers-wise. And Russell Wilson is not going to be able to make the throw down the field, so he's forced to throw it away because of the pressure. 3rd and 3 situation towards the end of the first half. Bills up 24-7. And the ball's on 27-yard line. And just another great call by Leslie Frazier on a robber coverage call by Jordan Poyer. So let's break it down. Trey White is motioning with DK Metcalf, so of course that IDs the coverage is man coverage. Now look at the safeties, look at the depth, and they're over the top, so they're showing a too high safety look, man coverage. This lets Russell Wilson know, hey, I should have the quick slant to DK Metcalf to the top of the screen. But of course, the Bills change out once the ball is snapped. They rotate late. Jordan Poyer drops down into the hole as a robber. Micah Hyde rotates to the deep center field. And again, Russell Wilson has the ball already in his hands. This is a very late rotation. Trey White knows that he can be aggressive as the ball is being thrown into the boundary to DK Metcalf. He's ready to drive on the slant route right here. and he takes it away. Russell Wilson does not force the issue here, so he bypasses that slant route. Johnson is funneling his route by Tyler Lockett to the robber, Jordan Poyer, over the middle. So that over route is taken away, and that puts Poyer in great position, not only to help White, but to take away that over route. So now Russell Wilson has to move on in his progression again. He extends the play and goes into scramble mode, and this is when he tries hitting his receiver down the field, and Levi Wallace does a great job of playing the ball up through the pocket and getting a piece of it, forcing the incompletion. So, again, this is one of those plays where the safeties muddied up the read for Russell Wilson pre to post snap. They changed the picture pre to post snap, and they forced Russell Wilson to move on in his progressions and eventually try to make a play outside of structure. And he's not able to because the Bills stay in the play. Levi Wallace stays in the play. He recovers and makes a play at the catch point. Watch it from the end zone angle and how Russell Wilson really doesn't know what he wants to do on this play. He's very confused because of what Jordan Poyer does by dropping in the hole. Trey White is all over the slant route by DK Metcalf. He can't throw the over route because he sees Poyer right there as the robber, so he has to extend the play. Just a great job by the Bills. And again, the front creates pressure, and they force him to get rid of the ball. They force him to make a throw he doesn't really want to make. It's not the most accurate throw. Levi Wallace recovers and makes a play at the catch point. Just a great job on the front and back end by the Bills. 3rd and 10 situation. The Seahawks have a 3-by-1 set on the field. And again, the disguise by the safeties. You see Micah Hyde at the bottom of the screen right there. He is capping Siran Neal. They are not letting Russell Wilson identify this coverage. Is it man? Is it zone? We don't really know. And the depth that Mike Hyde is playing at is interesting because as the ball is snapped, you're going to see him rotate over the top and Jordan Poyer drop into the hole. This appears to me like some sort of cover 3 look with Jordan Poyer kind of robbing, almost like a quarters look where if there's a deep over out, he's going to rob over the top and gain depth. But again, just confusing Russell Wilson with a 5-man pressure. So there is pressure on Russell Wilson as the Bills drop out into, again, some sort of cover 3 robber type look here. So as the play progresses, there's really no one open. And Russell Wilson is forced to hit to the top of his drop and hold on to the ball. And as he climbs the pocket here, that's when Jerry Hughes is able to knock the ball out. And Trey White gets in on the play to recover the fumble. Just a big play on 3rd down by the Bills. So look at it from the end zone angle. You're going to see a little pick play on the guard between A.J. Klein and Ed Oliver, and I'll show you why that's important on this play. So on the snap, Russell Wilson checks the safeties. He looks at Poyer. Poyer's playing sort of flat-footed right there in the hole. Now he's checking Hyde. Hyde is, of course, rotating and spinning over the top into a single high type look. But again, it's a muddied coverage, and it's a late rotation. So as the play progresses, I love the job that Trent Murphy and Jerry Hughes do at the top of the drop. They are recognizing that Russell Wilson is hitting that back foot. He's hitting the top of the drop, and they cannot rush by him. They need to contain him in the pocket. So now the Bills have Russell Wilson contained in the pocket. You see Ed Oliver flash in Russell Wilson's face. And why is that important? Because there is a target wide open over the middle. Because Trey Edmonds and the second-level defenders are getting depth. They're not going to let the Seahawks beat them deep. So Edmonds has depth. That guy's wide open, but Russell Wilson's not able to throw it because Ed Oliver flashes in his face. And this allows Jerry Hughes to get up off the turf and make a play on the backside of this pass. It's just a great play. The coverage is forcing Russell Wilson to move on his progressions, hold on to the ball. That allows the defensive front, the 5-man pressure, to trace up the pocket and make a play on Russell Wilson. Just another big play, another great job of the back end and front end working together. Just great disguise, forcing Russell Wilson to hold on to the ball, allowing Jerry Hughes to get up, retrace up the pocket, and make a play on Russell Wilson. Okay, I lied. This is my favorite play from the game. Bills are up 34-20, 1st and 10 situation, ball on the 25-yard line. The Seahawks come out and try to run a Yankee concept, and I'll show you what that is here in a second. But again, track the safeties. Look at the corners. It almost looks like they're playing a too high look. Almost looks like quarters. You can see the corners kind of fall off as well versus this condensed set. But post-snap, the Bills send what they used as a run blitz against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks on Sunday. Edmonds was on the line of scrimmage. He's a contained player. They get a fold or twist by Ed Oliver up over the top and Marlowe blitzing. This was how they were combating some of the zone runs and zone reads by the Seahawks. But again, this is a pass. So with 5 guys up near the line of scrimmage, Edmonds isn't really blitzing. He's more of a contained player. If Russell Wilson were to run play action, boot out to the top of the screen. So after the play fake, the Bills are dropping into a cover 3 look. But it's a 3 deep, 3 under look by the Bills. And it's just a beautiful rotation. So as the play progresses, I want you to watch the rotation over the top between Levi Wallace, Tre'Davious White, and Jordan Poyer, the deep safety on this play, because their rotation against this Yankee concept, this over route by Tyler Lockett and then post by DK Metcalf on the bottom, the rotation is just flawless. This is the type of team defense that the Bills have lacked for a majority of the season. So as Lockett runs that over route, you're going to see Jordan Poyer slice it. He's going to drive on that over route. Levi Wallace recognizes the route as well, so he gets depth. He replaces Poyer deep to help leverage the post by DK Metcalf to help his teammate, Tre'Davious White, all the way on the bottom of the screen. So watch that rotation. It is just beautiful. So the other person to pay attention to is Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde does a great job of getting down to his area, executing a hinge technique. So you see him flip his hips, play with zone eyes, but find that over route by Lockett. So now that is eliminated. The post route by DK Metcalf is leveraged by the Bills perfectly. The hinge technique by Micah Hyde takes away the over route by Lockett. And you can see there is no one open on this play. The pressure and fold by Ed Oliver creates some pressure, and Russell Wilson is forced to extend the play outside the pocket, and that's when Mario Addison brings him down for the sack. Just another great job by the Bills up front and on the back end. The coverage takes away the shot called down the field, takes away the over route, takes away the post route, and then the natural pressure that was sent by Leslie Frazier allows Mario Addison one-on-one. He's able to break free, and with Tremaine Edmonds as a contained player here and Ed Oliver folding over the top on that little game or stunt, Russell Wilson is not able to sit on the spot and diagnose the coverage. And it's a coverage that obviously took away the play down the field. So now he goes into scramble mode. He's not going to get outside the pocket. Tremaine Edmonds is sitting there on this play. And so now Addison is able to finish the play. Another play where the coverage helped the defensive front create a sack on this play to create another big play against a guy that wants to extend the play. But the Bills were not having it on Sunday. All right, here's the sack fumble by A.J. Klein. I know you guys have been clamoring for some A.J. Klein breakdowns. 3rd and 3 situation in the fourth quarter. Bills up 41-27. So, and just look at what the Bills are showing Russell Wilson on this 3rd and short. They're immediately showing almost 8 guys near the line of scrimmage. So that's letting Russell Wilson know, hey, they're possibly bringing pressure on this 3rd and short. So where are the safeties? Okay, let's take a look at Micah Hyde to the top of the screen, but also the Bills insert Siran Neal again. He played several snaps in certain personnel packages against the Seahawks, and he is on the line of scrimmage to the bottom of the screen. But as the play progresses prior to the snap, you'll see him kind of back off into more of a coverage look. So the edge defenders in 2-point stances on this play are Tremaine Edmonds and A.J. Klein, which puts the defensive ends, Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes, mugging the A-gaps up the middle. Post-snap, the Bills simply drop out into a cover 3 look. So while they showed pressure, they dropped out and only sent 4. But what 4 are coming is the question here. But it's another play where the coverage confuses Russell Wilson, gets him to hold on to the ball on this curl flat route. So he's reading Siran Neal and trying to get the ball to the flat route or to the curl route. But Siran Neal does a good job of slow playing it and muddying that read. Is he jumping the flat route? Is he jumping the curl route? Russell Wilson doesn't quite know, and so he holds on to the ball. And that's how A.J. Klein is able to get home and create the fumble here. Just a great job by Siran Neal, not jumping either route, kind of spacing him perfectly on this quick pass. And it causes Wilson to hold on to the ball just a split second longer and A.J. Klein to get home. Look at it from the end zone angle. It's just a beautifully crafted, simulated pressure. So Jerry Hughes, I mean, you look at him twitching his back leg here. He's showing as if he's blitzing. Mario Addison's looking down at the ball. He's trying to read when that ball snapped. So the offensive line from the center, left guard, and left tackle, they all slide to their left. And the right guard and right tackle now have to account for 3, possibly 4 rushers off the right side of the line here. So the right guard is protecting the A-gap initially, thinking that Jerry Hughes is going to blitz. Well, that puts his right tackle in a precarious position here because now the right tackle has to pick up Jefferson. Jefferson jams and attacks the right tackle. So with that tackle picking up Jefferson, that leaves A.J. Klein unblocked. Damian Lewis, the rookie right guard, is not able to get back and help his man. He tries using a little overlap or help technique here, letting his tackle know, hey, you can go ahead and bump out, but there's just no way that tackle can get out wide. A.J. Klein understands that this is going to have to be a quick game, so he takes a tight line to the quarterback here. It allows him to shave the angle, shave the corner, flatten and bend to the quarterback, and he absolutely lights up Russell Wilson here. He lifts him up off the ground, forces the fumble here. I mean, what a game by A.J. Klein. They put him in a position to succeed, and he creates another big play on this 3rd and short play. But another example of the coverage helping out the defensive front. Another example of Leslie Frazier scheming a 4-man rush to create disruption, to create a big play. Another simulated pressure. They ran simulated pressures and creeper pressures all day. They confused Russell Wilson all day. Got him to hold on to the ball just a split second longer in the quick game on this play to create the big play by A.J. Klein.